Hello, YouTube.
How are you today?
I'm doing well. What about you?
I have a challenge for you.
Walk up to a blind person
And to describe to them what the color blue is.
That wouldn't be very easy, would it? Walking up to a blind person and telling them this is what the color blue is. We're also under the assumption the person's been blind all their life, so they won't have any recognition of what blue is even in their past when they were able to see. You might actually find this is very difficult. Which is where I'm going to get very deep for a second, because I wanted to talk about this for a long time, and it's going to be very short, hopefully, very sweet, and talk about how precious we take for granted of the vocabulary that we use. And a lot of people were like, Megan, I don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, take this for example, like I just said. Walk up to a person who has never seen the color blue before and try to describe them what the color blue is. You can't, can you? You can't describe the color blue. It's something you need to see in order to describe it. So let's take another example. Describe big. Some of you are already probably thinking, oh, it's 7 foot. It's 8 foot. Big is the Eiffel Tower. Big is the universe. Big is beyond the universe. Well, that's the thing. Unfortunately, adjectives cannot be used without another word to compare it to. So describing what something is small is unfortunately unable to be described, not without something else to compare it to, which is why we take words for granted. We don't know how to specifically say things descriptively without feeling like as if we have to use something else in order to describe it, unless we actually use something like colors and numbers. They're really the only way we can actually get a description out there, because they're actually set. So it's actually harder than it looks to actually come up with a descriptive word without having to use numbers, letters, or colors, or anything along those lines. Big, small, fat, and large are all kind of words that are broad unless you continue on to come up with another word or an object to compare it to. So when a person says, what's the definition of big, the only thing you can say is the opposite of small, and what's small is the opposite of big. So I guess we're all kind of going in a rotating circle until we can actually find a more descriptive word, 6 inches. But still, is 6 inches big? Or is 6 inches small? And you can even almost do the same thing as with verbs, like with jump and stuff like that. You know, if you jump, how do you jump? And how high do you jump? What's your definition of a jump? For one person, it might be like completely leaving your feet off the ground. For another person, a jump could be like when you reach a certain height limit. So think about that when you're using words next time, and think about how often you actually use certain words and whether it's enough. Kind of a little food for thought. By the way, I greatly apologize for the hair fail. My hair's been in a hat all day, and I didn't want to wear a hat. Question of the video: what is the definition of time?